Hello, hello, hello. Can you- Test, 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 test. Oh, fuck, it's lagging as fuck. Hello, hello, hello. Can you- Okay. Holy shit. Give me a sec. Okay, okay, it should be fine now. I'm lagging as fuck, but fine. Welcome back to another study session. Day 8 out of 9. I'm back to studying. Now we can start study about, now I'm gonna study about alternative investment. I don't know what's the material it's on. So, yeah. Okay. That should do it. Oh my God, I'm so laggy. I think it's just a camera that's nice. Yeah, that's fine. Uh, okay. Let's go. Back to studying. Of course, I'm going to stick on mother timer to for the timer. So yeah, let's go. Belajar apa bang? Belajar um, tahu CFA nggak? It's called Chartered Financial Analyst. Simpel tentang menjadi financial analyst. Gue nggak bisa ngasih powerpointnya, nggak bisa gue share karena gue ngerasa itu confidential dan gue nggak yakin dibolehin sama yang bikin powerpointnya. Jadi gue cuma kayak timer sama gue. Okay, let's back to study. Here's a big picture of the two presentation. Alternative investment. It's fine. Nggak liquid, nggak transparan, sama fees. However, they are attractive because they have a relatively low correlation to traditional market, offering valuable supply diversification. I'm guessing betanya kecil. Investment method and structure. Investor can access this market through fund investing, indirectly through manager, or investing. Private equity and private debt, just direct lending, mezzanine debt and direct distressed debt. This category cover raw land, timberland, farmland, and commodities. Commodity pricing curve are heavily influenced by storage costs and convenience yield, leading to market condition known as contago or these are active hedge portfolio that utilize leverage, short position, and derivative to generate return. They are generally classified into four main strategies: equity hedge, equity derivative like merge or bankruptcy, relative value, exploiting pricing discrepancies, and opportunistic macro strategies. Digital asset representing highly volatile asset is also unlike traditional asset that derive value from future cash flow. Cryptocurrency and token are valued based on the supply and market demand. Reality is also being used for tokenization of physical asset. Perbedaan, what is the difference between hedge fund dan mutual fund? I forget. Kalau nggak salah, mutual fund itu kayak ada tempat market buat trading. Kayak, mutual fund is reksadana, but hedge fund is like you give the money to some investor. Like I think James Simon is one of the hedge fund. Karena like they only accept like orang kaya money and then they invest the money. Based on the provided document, these are the key differences between hedge fund and mutual fund. Hedge fund offer lower liquidity than mutual fund. Hedge fund investors are often subject to lock-up period. Regulation and transparency. Hedge fund operates with lower transparency and a lighter regulatory burden compared to mutual fund. Hedge fund tends to charge higher fees. Historically, they charge both management fee and incentive fee based on profit. 15.5% for the incentive fee based on profit. Okay, investment strategy. Traditional investment generally involve long-only position in stocks, bonds, and cash. In contrast, hedge funds are creatively managed portfolio that often use leverage, take both long, short position, and use derivative to establish hedge fund. to establish hedges. The hedge funds are typically structured as private investment partners and are offered only to limited number of investors who can afford the risk. Enggak, iya ya. Kalau ETF itu tuh ada kayak marketnya sendiri. Tapi kalau mutual fund kayak lebih transparansi gitu. Dan oke. Oh, baca aja lah. Baca aja. Alternative investment features methods, structure, performance, and returns, private capital, and real estate. Is private. Is high growth, illiquid asset, where institutional investors or high net worth individual people capital directly to equity, venture capital. I know about venture capital a little bit. Private debt and directly to companies often provide more passive returns than traditional bank. Real estate, investment in infrastructure, natural resource, and real estate. Okay. Alternative investment features, methods, and structure. Features of alternative investment. Traditional investment, long position in stocks, bonds, and cash. Alternative investment supplemental strategies to traditional investment. Natural resource, real estate, and infrastructure. These strategies are typically active, return-seeking strategies that also often have a risk characteristic different from those of traditional long-only investment. Common characteristic of alternative investment versus traditional is lower liquidity, relatively low correlation of returns with traditional investment, beta kecil, bilang gitu, less regulation and lower transparency. Tapi iya sih, karena kan modal itu kan banyak ya, Transfin, PPN. Okay. Limited and potentially problematic historical risk and return data, specific legal and tax consideration, higher fees, often included performance fees, concentrated portfolio, and maybe highly leveraged restriction on adoption. Due to portfolio diversification resulting in a higher risk-adjusted return. Risk-adjusted return is beta. Alpha nggak sih? Dari A plus oh alpha, okay. Jensen alpha. Alternative investment are attractive to investor due to ada private capital, ini kayak orang kaya nginvest ke private equity, private debt. United kan artinya United diinvestasi, dibeli sama Glazer. Is that the example of this United? You check this. Manchester United bought up by Glazer account as a private capital. leverage buyout (LBO), which directly undercuts the private capital market. Because the Glazer family used private investment vehicle, Red Football, to acquire the public company and release it from the London Stock Exchange, the transaction is called as private equity. A primary component of private gitu. Iya sih, kalau private debt kan lu ngasih uang, like you kasih loans lah ke suatu companies or like private entities. Okay. The documents identify leverage buyout as a key strategy within private equity. An LBO occurs when a company is acquired using a significant percentage of purchase through debt. The total buy cost was approximately 790 to 812 million pound, and 540 to 600 million was financed through loans, meaning the majority of the purchase was funded by debt rather than Glazer personal cash. Methods for alternative investment. Three methods to access alternative investment is fund investing. Investor contribute a capital to a fund, and the fund identifies select next investment on the investor behalf. Fund investment can be viewed as an indirect method for investing in the asset. Investor invests in asset and indirectly through the fund, but also possess the right. Okay. Direct investment. Okay. Institutional investors usually begin investing in alternative investment via fund investing. As they get experience, they can begin to invest via co-investing and direct investing. Wait. Danantara itu masuk. Danantara ya namanya. Danantara. Yeah. Is Danantara an example apa sih investing Yes, Danantara, Badan Pengelola Investasi Daya Anagata Nusantara is a clear example of an entirely focused alternative investment specifically operating sovereign wealth fund. Based on the professorship and curriculum and business development, Danantara fits the definition of alternative investment vehicle following this way. Infrastructure. Danantara invests heavily in national infrastructure, utilities, and digital infrastructure such as data centers. Real estate. One of the key sectors is the development of high-value real estate and special economic zones. The fund targets strategic mineral, private capital by managing and optimizing state-owned enterprise and providing funding to projects not sourced from public market. Danantara function as a provider of capital, private capital. The biggest SWF is Norway SBF. Why is Norway sovereign wealth fund is it's a great it's a success thing. Okay, method of other investment. Limited partner. With exceeding $2.2 trillion? Norwegian model of managing that wealth. Here is the big picture why it works. Prevent of a Dutch disease, investing only abroad, independent risk. Where a sudden influx of oil wealth kills off other parts of the economy, like manufacturing, by making the currency too expensive. Also another one, okay. Independent risk. This ensures the fund growth is independent of the Norwegian economy or performances. The fuck, ini bahasa Norway. Handlingsregelen. This is a strict fiscal policy that ensures the fund capital is never touched, all its growth. 3% limit. The government is allowed to spend the fund expected real return, which is currently set at 3% total value annually. Budget support, even at only 3%, the budget is also massively expensive. Norway maintains public trust by being the most transparent fund in the world, regularly scoring a perfect out of 100 portability indexes. Public ownership. Every citizen can see which company the fund owns, currently stake in over 7,200 companies globally. Ethical exclusion. The fund has a dedicated council of ethics that blacklists companies involved in human rights violation, severe environmental damage, or tobacco production. Long-term investment horizon, because the fund is meant for future generations as a patient investor. High equity exposure. The fund lean heavily into risky assets like stocks, roughly 71% of the portfolio, because it has time to wait out market crashes like that would scare off short-term investors. In 2025, the fund earned a profit of approximately 2.47 billion. Okay. Largely driven by its massive holding in global tech stocks like Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft. Efficient government structure. The management of the fund is split into 3 clear levels to prevent political interferences. The parliament. So, oh my, this is so good, which actually is started to. It's really looking to the Norway model as inspiration. Yeah. But yeah, interesting thing about global investment. 50% per year is crazy. Tapi there has to be a fee, right? Coba dah. Is GPFG has a fee? No, does GPFG has a fee? Probably has, right? While the government pension fund global is not a private fund that charges clients for a fee, or product includes management costs that are deducted from the fund total return. 0.05, 0.08. Okay. Okay, AUM-nya, okay. Performance fee. Only paid only to external manager, highly regulated. Okay. Fee caps, rare, often incentivize high risk. Lower transparency, rapid hedge. Oh. Rare, often incentivize high risk. Strictly cut, million per external mandate. Maximum transparency, every krone spent is reported. Is it possible to invest? GPFG as an Indonesian. I think it's possible to invest on Norway Southern Fund. It's definitely possible. I don't think it's possible. GPFG. Government Pension Fund Global. Karena ada fee-nya sih pasti. No, it's not possible. Oh, okay. The client is the... Oh, okay. Okay. Advantage on disadvantage of the methods. So, fund investing. Fund manager offer investment services and expertise. Lower level investor involvement compared with the direct and co-investing methods. Access to alternative investment without possessing a high degree of investment expertise. A potentially valuable diversification benefits. Lower minimum capital requirement, costly management and performance fees. Investor must conduct through due diligence selecting the right fund because of the wide dispersion of fund manager return. Investor can learn from the fund process to become better at direct investing. Reduce management fees, allows more active management of the portfolio compared to the fund investing and allow for deeper relationship with the manager. Investor can learn from the fund, reduce management, reduce control over investment selection process compared with direct investing. Oh fuck. Okay. Timingnya udah habis jadi I'm gonna take a break. It's a little bit loud. Banger song by the way. Banger famous dari Hololive. After the second break, I'm gonna make coffee. Change this later on. Making a coffee. How do you make coffee? There you go. Okay. Oh, scheiße. It's fine. What? Sorry. I just read. The GPFG, the Norway Sovereign Fund, is the extreme diversification. It has 1.5% of every listed company. What? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, let's go. Okay. The problem with co-investing is reduced control over the investments and actual process compared with direct investing. Requires more active development than with fund investing, which can be challenging if resources and distribution expenses are limited. Avoid paying ongoing management fees to an external manager, greatest amount of flexibility for the investor, highest level of control over how the asset is managed, plus more investment expertise and high level of management sophisticated. Fund investing, less access to fund ready and sophistication level. Many alternative investment use a partnership structure with a general partner that manages the business and the fund. A minimum rate of return the GP must exceed typically 8% to earn performance fee. High watermark works reflect the highest value. The fund investor able to achieve a performance fee calculation that high watermarks protects client from paying twice for the same performances. Oh, okay, okay. But a catch up clause is like the minimum. Okay, okay. Oh, it. Hmm? exchange traded securities directly or indirectly observable inputs such as many derivatives. Real estate. Fee based on liquidity terms and SSS. Hedge fund may charge different rates depending on the liquidity terms that an investor is willing to accept. Longer lockup are generally associated with longer fees. A hedge fund manager may discount their fee for a larger investor, or placement agent who introduce this investor. Counter shares. First 100 million, either or. Whichever is greater. Agree to charge a 1% management fee simply to cover expenses during the down year, or to receive a 30 million incentive fee without a mutually agreed on an annual hurdle to incentivize a reward manager during up year, whichever is greater. Example of fee and return calculation. XYZ is a capital hedge fund with 100 million of initial investment. It charged a 2% management fee based on year-end asset blah 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 own and a 20% incentive fee. Okay, in its first year, XYZ capital has a 30% return. Okay, so the R is 30%. And assume a manager fees are calculated using end of period valuation. What are the fee estimated by XYZ in the incentive management fee? What are the fees estimated by XYZ? I'm so confused. What are the fees earned by XYZ if the incentive and management fees are calculated independently? What is an investor effective return? Oke, so kita punya 100 million, it turns into 130 million because of 30% return, ya kan? And then so 30 miliar kan, artinya so 30 miliar. Nah, 2% ya, so 600 miliar ya, 600 ribu dolar. Ya, dikali 0,02 ya, 600 this is the management fee. And terus kan returnnya kan 30%, so 30% So 5,3 dikali 5,2, 6%. Basis dari 2% dan 6% dari itu, I'm guessing it's 1,8, 6 kali 3 ya, so 1.8 million. This is gonna be the incentive fee. What are solution? Oke, ini jawaban gue. So 2,4 ya, 2,4. So apa namanya, 2,4 million is to XYZ. Tapi ini dengan management fee and incentive fee, ya kan? 2,4 millionnya 600 dolar ke XYZ. This is the management fee, and 1,8 mil is from incentive fee. Oke. Buat investornya dapat basically 30 kurang 2,4, 27,6 million. What are the fees earned by XYZ, assuming that incentive fee is calculated from the return net of the management? What does an investor get? So incentive fee 1,8 million, management fee is 600. Effective returnnya berarti 2,4 million. This is the first answer. What are the fees earned by XYZ, assuming the fees calculated from the return net? What are the fees earned by XYZ, assuming that net incentive fee is calculated from the return net of management fee? Okay, so kalau ini kan kayak yang awal itu, oke. Sebenarnya ini kalau kayak populasinya 30 million kita bagi management fee sama incentive fee, ya kan, ini sekaligus. Tapi kalau yang kasus kedua kita hitung dulu, pertama kan management, what are the fee earned by assuming incentive fee. Jadi incentive fee dulu, jadi 30 mil minus 1,8 mil karena incentive fee, jadi 28,2 mil, ya kan? Iya. And then terus 8,2 dikali 2%. Sama dengan $564.000. So apa namanya, 28,2 mil dikurang 564 27636. It's more complicated ya. Ini netnya, okay. The hurdle rate is 5% and the incentive fee is based on return excess the hurdle rate. Okay, ya macam ribet aja, but I understand. Total fees to 8,6. The fuck? Okay, management fee is 130 mil. Oh, dari AUMA ya, bukan profitnya ya. Salah gak? Ya 2% berarti 2,6. Incentive fee is incentive fee itu dari returnnya. So total fee is 8.6. Investor return is 21.4. atau 21 juta 4 million, enggak, 21.4 million dollars. Still about the manager fee was oh yeah okay. The management fee is and 5% ya, harga apa sih rate ya, rate 5%. So, 5% dari 30, oke. No, enggak, dari profitnya. Oke. 2.6 dari management fee. So 20 million. 4.48 7.08 million. Investor return is gonna be 2.92. Ya nggak shock ya, dengan harga fee bakal lebih, tapi nggak jauh sih. Sure about it. Okay. Investment in private capital. Private capital provide funding to companies that is not sourced from public equity or debt market. It can add moderate diversification to benefit to a portfolio of publicly traded stocks and bonds. PE, private equity investment in privately owned companies or in public companies with the intent to take them private. Private debt refers to the various forms of debt provided by investors to private equity. That is it. Key to every LBO, this is one example of Manchester United. PE establish private equity established buyout fund to acquire company with significant percentage of purchase through debt. LBOs include management buyout. Current management is involved in the acquisition and management internal management. Venture capital, investing in private companies with a high growth potential. Typically startup VC. Venture capital can involve at the stage, formative stage, pre-seed, early stage, later stage, and mezzanine stage, preparation for IPO. Growth equity or minority equity investing takes minority interest in more mature companies that seek capital for expansion. Growth equity or minority equity investing. Growth equity or minority equity investing takes minority interest in more mature company that seeks capital expansion for expansion. PE firm seeks to improve new or underperforming businesses and then exit them at a higher valuation. Typically buy and hold companies for an average of 5 years. Holding period can range from less than 6 months to more than 10 years. The risk and return investing PE VC are riskier than in common stocks. Investor requires a higher return for accepting a higher risk, i.e. liquidity and leverage risk, based on Cambridge Associate as of December 2019. US private equity performance beat US stock index for the past 20 or 25 years, but similar in the 5 and 10 years. Common exit strategies: trade sales to a strategic buyer competitor, either by an auction or private negotiation. IPO, sell its shares to public investor. Recapitalization, firm increase or introduce a leverage to its portfolio company and pay itself a dividend or the new capital structure. Secondary sell to another PE firm to another investor, write off liquidation when transaction has not gone well. Okay. Private debt refers to various forms of debt provided by investor to private equity. mezzanine debt, private credit that is subordinated to senior secured debt that is senior to equity. Private credit that is subordinated to senior secured debt. Okay. Basically di bawah senior debt but higher than the equity. This is the mezzanine debt. Private debt provide to start up early venture debt with VC backing. Okay. Distressed debt, buying debt of mature companies with financial difficulty. Unentrenched debt, hybrid structure that combines different tranches of secured and unsecured debt into a single loan with interest rate that reflects mix debt clash. Diversification benefit of private capital investment. Private capital investment can provide some diversification benefit to a portfolio of traditional investment because the correlation of return with usually what investment are. Okay. Investor in private capital should diversify across vintage years. Funds that begin investing during the business cycle expansion are likely to earn higher rates of return if they specialize in early stage companies. Funds that begin with investing during business cycle contraction are likely to earn high rates of return if they specialize in distressed company. Next up is going to be real estate and infrastructure. This is like real estate investment. I forgot to buy a fucking SPY. I'll buy it. Oh! Right. It's been 1 hour already, holy shit. Oh, okay. Why did my... Oh, the equity goes back. Oh. It's gonna take a while. Brexit. Kita absen aja. Terus. Going to toilet for a second. I forgot to make a coffee. That's why. Okay. I should have nothing. Next, real estate and infrastructure. Residential and commercial. Real estate, large capital investment. Liquidity, the fact that I'm not. Yeah. Heterogeneity. Release term and the age. Capital and source of capital. Okay. So debt is equity and private is public. Okay. Investor can gain exposure to real estate through debt ownership, either as a lender or due to ownership of okay. So private and debt, mortgage, construction lending, mezzanine debt. Yeah. Private and equity, direct ownership of real estate. Ownership through souls, ownership, small ventures, account, or real estate. Indirect ownership via real estate fund, private and REIT, public debt MBS. Wait, ETF can... I did not know that you can use an ETF for real estate. I mean, ETF is like securities and it is direct and indirect real estate investment. REIT. Currently is invest in high quality commercial property, corporate services and areas, as the entails and the development. Value are essentially step. government regulation is one of the biggest things. National and global economic competition and distrust property investing and real estate development are subject to greater risk. The investment How do you leverage? Wait, direct investment, private fund, public companies. Okay. Which are considered of infrastructure, the underlying asset are real. Capital interest as well. To be constructed in existing infrastructure asset, fully operational and facilitate with engine cash flow and secondary stage long-term investment. Investing in brownfield investment provides some cash flow and relatively high current yields but offer little potential growth. Secondary stage brownfield investment, e.g. existing tolls, roads and hospitals, are the least risky and offer the lowest success. Greenfield investment, e.g. new tolls, new facilities, are subject to more asset density and may provide relatively lower yield in the near term but offer greater growth in potential. Infrastructure projects that rely on revenues from uncertain future periods tend to be riskiest. Equity investment in infrastructure has a low correlation with public equities. Infrastructure projects that rely on revenues from uncertain future tends to be riskier. Equity investment in infrastructure has a low correlation with public equity, while debt tends to be safer and less liquid. Infrastructure investment tend to be more suitable for long term. Institutional investors such as pension plan, life insurance company, and so on. Venture capitalists will typically do all of those except operate the company after it has gone public, give business expertise and confidentiality, force the entrepreneur to carefully consider the project feasibility to development of the business plan. Yeah, I think B is definitely obvious. Force the entrepreneur to carefully consider the project feasibility to development of the business plan. I think we're gonna go A. Is okay. What is the answer of slide 29? It's definitely A, right? Yeah, very good. Okay, I'm gonna make a coffee, and after that, let's basically let's make a question. Do Q&A with ChatGPT. Pause. What the fuck is this song? Okay. Okay. Back. I'm not gonna drink the coffee now. It's not cold yet. It's not. Yeah. Okay. But I can show you the portrait. The fucking. There you go. This is the pop one that I use. It's a mess. I know. It's fine. Okay, I should go ahead. There you go. From the PowerPoint, alternative investment 1, create, and then set a level 1 question, I think, and I have some additional like and make sure if there is a math question, do not use the same number as in the PowerPoint and have and do not have the same story question. There you go. Give a second. Why is it not thinking? I'm not sure it's pro. Okay. I do this twice, so there you go. Here's the big picture. Oh no, that's wrong. I'm gonna answer it on. I don't know how I can only show the. Yeah. Okay. Compared to a traditional investment like stocks and bonds, alternative investment are most likely to exhibit higher liquidity, lower correlation of return. One is an institutional investor wish to gain exposure to real estate. They want to avoid paying ongoing management fees and external fund management and desire the highest level of control over the asset they manage. It's direct investing. Apex Capital Partner is a new private equity fund that generates 15% return in its first year. The fund partnership agreed to include. Okay, we need math. Okay, 15% return in the first year. The fund partnership agreed to include 6% held rate, an 80-20. I think blah blah the partnership, and I think it's limited partnership and general partnership profit split with a catch-up clause. Assuming the return is sufficient to trigger the clause, what is the performance fee earned by the general partner as the percent? Okay, so this is for the general partner as a percentage of the initial investment. So okay, with the catch-up clause, assume is distribution attribute clause. This is for the I don't think there's management fee. Okay, so the fund ownership 6% authorized. So okay, 15 minus 6%, it's gonna be 9%. 9% profit split with catch-up clause. So 9%. I don't get this question at all. Oh no, it's 20%, right? 20%. So 15 divided by 6, it's 9%. 9% times 20%, so 1.8. I'm guessing 3 is 8. Okay. When evaluating the performance of a private equity fund over its life cycle, returns are typically negative during which of the following phase? Capital distribution of the commitment phase. I don't know what the name, tapi yang awal-awal aja yang pasti. Yang Alpha Strategies is a hedge fund that invests 50 million of its own equity capital and borrows 150 million from a prime broker at an interest rate of 4%. The fund investment are total. The fund invests the total 200 million capital and earn 12% return on the portfolio. What is the fund leverage return? I'm just gonna use my now. So it's 12% return. Okay, the portfolio return is 12%, so 0.2 times 200 mil. So I'm just gonna use 200 mil. Minus the interest rate, and then times 150 million. And all of this is going to be divided by the initial capital of 50 million. There you go, and it's 0.36. Let's see. So let's see. Next, number 6. A real estate fund manager is preparing for their financial reporting. They hold a portfolio of privately owned commercial office building for which they are no active market transaction or quoted price. What? Okay. Oh, that fucking question. Okay. They hold a portfolio of privately owned commercial office building for which they have no active market transaction or quoted price. So it's level 2. Stellar Hedge Fund starts with the year with 500 million in initial cash. The funds charge a management fee based on the year of asset management owned and 20% incentive fee that is calculated independently from the management fee. During a year, the fund achieved 20% gross return. What is the investment effective net return? Okay, so the hedge fund has 50 million and return 20% gross, which is 10 million. So it grows from 50 million to 60 million. is with a 20%. The investment charge 2% management fee, so the return is 20% minus 2%, right? And 20% incentive fee that are calculated independently of the management fee. So the first one is going to be 18%, and then 20% times 20%, which is 4%. Yeah, 4%. So 18% minus 4%, it's gonna be 14%. So the answer is B. An alternative investment fund focuses on purchasing the debt of a mature company that are currently experiencing severe financial difficulties and a bankruptcy proceeding. This strategy is best described as distressed debt. A real estate investor looking to generate a return by undertaking major redevelopment of an aging commercial property and is most likely to utilize aging commercial property is most likely utilizing which of the following strategies? I don't know what this is. It's not value added, it's called plus. I don't know. I'm gonna go B. Okay, so B, number 9, I need to read that. Which of the following infrastructure investment typically offers the highest growth potential but carries the amount of uncertainty at best? Second stage is the greenfield. Okay. 1 is wrong. One wrong? Wait, I answered B. What the fuck? Okay. Number 2 is C, correct? 3 is B. 3 is B. 4 is okay. So 3 I'm wrong. 4 is wrong as well. It's A. 5 is C. 6 is C. What the fuck is happening? Okay. Number 3. Number 3 is I'm wrong. I don't know why. For GP to catch up, they added 20% of the total 15% return. This is with catch-up clause. Assuming that the distribution that trigger clause, yeah, this is with catch-up clause. So it's oh, this is without. Okay, that was with only without. No, it's this one. This is with a catch-up flow, with a catch-up clause, and the profit is 9%. So GP at 9%. It's like before, the first 8% goes entirely to the LP. Catch-up phase, once the 8% is met, the next portion of it goes to the okay, dia kan 80% return, which is the total return that they get, and then 20% performance. Give me a fucking second, I need to answer this. Okay. And to GP, which is 20%, right? Apex fund 15% return and a hurdle cost. This is with a catch-up clause, which means we did not subtract the 6% hurdle trade, right? So that means it's the return is 15% times 20%, which is GP earn. 5%. Sorry, 15% times 20%. So it's around 3. So the answer is B. And 3 is B. Okay. When evaluating performance of a private equity fund over its life cycle, and then number 4 is alternative investment returns physically a J-curve effect. Yeah, returns are usually negative during the capital commitment. What is capital commitment? No. What's the name? Negative during capital commitment, less negative during capital deployment, and positive during capital distribution phase. Next, what do I have like? It seems like I have a beard. I don't have a beard. Okay, next, the one I got wrong is 7. Number 7 is a gross. Let's read this. Stellar hedge fund start with a 50 million in initial cash. The fund charged a 2% management fee based on year-end asset under management, and a 20% incentive fee is calculated independently of the management fee. So I'm guessing cara nge-calculate-nya bukan so it's 18% times 20%. Yeah, it is 100 million, which is your annual 60 million, and then management fee calculated 1.2 million or 2% of 50. Fuck, no, management fee is the yeah, it's like all the asset, okay? Asset under management. And incentive fee is from the profit. Total fee is gonna be, yeah, my god. Number 9, value added real estate strategies take on. What is value added? Okay. Core strategy reinvest in high quality commercial. Opportunistic strategy that have the highest risk. Opportunistic, core value, a value added. Core plus strategy involve higher risk. Okay, so but opportunistic is the. I don't understand what is REIT. Next 10 is the higher growth potential but carries the greater amount of risk. Number 10 I answered B. I don't know why I answered A, but yeah. 10 is B, so I get 4 out of 10. That's us. Okay. I'm gonna do one more question, so I'll take a break. Oh, scheiße. Ach, sehr gut. Kayak gue di bawah anjing. Bentar. What is this fucking thing? Okay. This is just gonna be. After this, I'm gonna take a break until probably like 6:30. To bakal salat. Okay. An institutional. An institutional investor is considering shifting portion of its alternative investment allocation from pure fund investing to co-investing. Which of the following is most likely a disadvantage of making this decision? The investor will be subjected to higher overall management fee. This investor will be subject to adverse selection biases. We have less active management of the portfolio compared with the fund investing. A hedge fund begins the year with 200 million in asset. At the end of year 1, the fund value dropped to 180 million. At the end of year 2, the fund value rises to 215 million. The fund charged a 15 million incentive fee. Which of the following strict higher watermark provision, assuming high watermark provision, assuming that there are no management fee to simplify the calculation, what is the incentive fee earned by the general partner at year 2? Okay. High watermarks reflect the highest value of fund ever achieved performance fee gathered to date. The high watermarks protects client from paying twice the same performance. Okay. Guessing. This is the profit is 15 million. 15 million times 15%. So A. High incentive mark is like from the highest the fund has ever been. I'm gonna go with A. I think that's the okay. Omega Capital invests 40 million of its own equity and borrows an additional 60 million from a private broker at an annual interest rate of 6%. Invest 40 millions of its own equity and borrow an additional 60 million from a prime broker at an annual interest rate of 6%. Okay. The total 100 million is invested in a portfolio that generates 9% of the year. What is Omega Capital leverage? The return is 9%. So 9% times 100. Yes, I think it's 6% interest rate. So 6%. So 60. So divided by 12. Return is 13. 13 I guess. I'm 3 A private equity firm has successfully grown one of its portfolio companies over 4 years. Rather than selling the company or taking it public, the PE firm introduced a significant amount of new debt to the portfolio balance sheet and used to proceed to pay itself a dividend. I don't think it's hard to sell. I think it's the capitalization. We should sell. Okay. A large pension fund is looking to allocate capital to real estate, but is willing to accept the highest level of risk in pursuit of maximum returns. Which of the following real estate strategy is most appropriate with this return? Is an opportunistic strategy. An alternative investment fund acquire a portfolio of educational facilities and correctional centers. The fund primary focus is on operating and maintaining the physical building rather than the services provided within them. This investment is best classified as it is the economic social. Oh fuck. I think it's B, economic, the social, infrastructure. So, yeah, let's go. Crescent Fund operates within an either or custom fee arrangement. The manager agrees to charge 1.5 management fee based on the initial capital or a 20% incentive fees on the total profit generated. Whichever is greater, the fund begins in the year with 120 million in capital and end in 128 before fee. Based on this arrangement, what fee will the manager receive? So there is management fee. There is the management fee is 128 million, which is 128 times the fee is 1.5%. Um, 190,000. Not 1.2 million. Yeah, 1.92 mil. And the next one is because they did a profit. The profit is 8%. Sorry, 8 million. So 8 million times 8 million times 20%. 8 million times 20. It's 1.6 mil. Okay, so 1.6. That's plus. Oh, based on the initial capital. So it's not 1.92. So this, the initial capital is this, 20 mil. That's the, it's 1.8 mil. So 1.8 plus 1.6, so it's 3.5. So it's gonna be 6. Private debt. I forget to fucking. You know, it doesn't matter as well. This is the last question. Private debt frequently utilized hybrid structure that combines different tranches of secured and unsecured debt into a single loan. This loan features a single interest rate that is reflect the blend mix of underlying debt asset. This structure is being known as I think it's a uni tranche. I'm guessing because the one, like uni one is probably like the one to say, and mezzanine debt is not that. And in a private equity partnership, the distribution method that defines the order of profit allocation between the limited partner and the general partner is known as a waterfall. A waterfall structure calculated on a deal-by-deal basis, generate beneficially to the GP, is known as okay. It's American. So let's see. An analyst evaluating the historical performance of a broad hedge fund index. They must be cautious because the index may clearly perform better than reality, as funds that fail and close during the measurement period are no longer included in the data. I think it's revaluation bias, so thank you. Okay. 1 is B, 2 is A, 3 is B, 4 is B, 5 is A, 6 is, I got 6 wrong, 7 is wrong as well, 8 is A, 9 is C, 10 B. Okay, I got 6 and 7 wrong. 6 is social infrastructure asset support human activities, specifically including educational asset. Okay, I guess, yeah. Okay, what about economic activities? Okay, economic infrastructure asset support economic activity and includes transportation, ICT, utility, and energy assets. So it's more like what it is, not the value of the item. I guess it's more subjective than next, last one is number 7. Let's see. Under either or fee structure, the management takes the higher of 2 calculations. So option 1, manager fee is 1.5, 8.1. Option 2, incentive fee. The profit is 8 times 1.6. Oh wait, since the manager fee is larger than potential incentive fee, the manager received the I thought it was like about either or. Managers agrees either to exchange a 1 management fee or to receive. Oh, dikira gue kayak only when the downtown it's gonna pick the management fee. Okay, so yeah, it's just like they pick one each other depending on what they want or the max of those 2 options. Okay. Now is it for this stream? I'm gonna continue again probably at 7 or at 6:30. We'll see how it goes though. So I'm gonna title this as part 1. Part 2 is gonna be another alternative investment. Let's see. Okay, I think that's it for right now. I'm gonna take a break for like 2 hours or like 1.5 hours. Probably like 1.5 hours. Okay. See you